My name is Eric Lang. I'm the game designer of The Godfather, Corleone's Empire, the next big box board game epic by Cool Mini or Not. I remember very clearly a couple of years ago when I was working on Blood Rage and the others at the same time, the producer at Cool Mini or Not, David Pate, he actually walked into the office and I had a look on his face that I knew what was going to happen. And the first thing I said to him was, no more games at all. I'm too busy. I'm working on too much other stuff. He knows me, and he said to me, I remember specifically said, well, we have the Godfather license, so I was wondering who you'd recommend to work on it. And of course, I'm like, oh, of course I'm going to do Godfather. The first version of this prototype came together in less than 24 hours. I had to do a presentation slide for our licensor, and so I literally just tapped the back of my head and it's like, whatever comes out, comes out. And turns out I've been thinking about what I want to do for a Godfather game for a long time, and just flowed like instantly. So that turned into the first version of the game, and that was less than a day. I just started writing some notes to myself, and I thought maybe I should go see the movie again, but I'd seen it so many times, and generally when I work on a licensed game, I try to do from the top of my head. I don't want to do something that's so deep and scholarly that only the most enfranchised people will like it. I want to do something that's iconic and everybody can relate to. So as we know, the difference between the initial prototype and the final is pretty big, and this was not that much of an exception. I took about a year of refinement and play testing through about 5 or 6 iterations to get to the final game that you see now. This is one of the few games where I'm cutting at the beginning of a game. Like I start with way too much and I cut. This game actually started with something a little bit too lean, and I actually added a little bit more and more to basically make the epic feel, to bring it to a 90-minute epic game that feels like the movie. That was a really cool experience for me, I think, and the playtesters enjoyed it more and more the longer and meatier it got. It was okay that the game got a little bit longer. Now it's a 90-minute epic game with all of the elements that the movie has in it. So there were definitely challenges, of course. It's a licensed game, and there's always some tension between staying true to the license and making a good, elegant, streamlined game. One of the things I remember encountering quite a bit was I wanted there to be a ton of negotiating and backroom deals like you see in these movies all the time. And the more that I tried to incorporate that in the game, I remember the more it just slowed the game down. The core of the game was to be a strategy game. So I ended up having to take out some of the negotiating elements, like the pure negotiating elements. And I found that after I started cutting it down, people started naturally negotiating anyway. They did what I expected, like, oh, you take this territory, you take this one, and they made those kind of deals without the artifice of negotiating mechanics. So this Godfather was a big passion project for me. I worked on it for a very long time, and it was one of those projects that I didn't realize that it's been sort of a lifetime in the making, but here it is. And I hope that you guys enjoy the game like even close to as much as I loved making it.